Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. Today I want to talk about something that I think is probably one of the most devastating things a believer in Jesus could have ever possibly stumble and fumble into. And that's the concept of not believing anymore because of what another human being has done to you. Not believing anymore because a human being that even brought you into your faith, into your understanding, has done something to make you feel and think and react as if like, I can't be a part of that because of what that person is doing. I thought that person was kind. I thought that person was loving. I thought that person was very, very respectable. And I come to find out the closer and closer I got to them that he's actually a savage, just ruthless and mean and a dictator and just all about themselves. And they have a way about them when they walk out and do what they do for people, but behind closed doors, they are just an absolute savage. That they are very, very dictatorial. I don't know if that's a word or not, but we're about to put that in there. And they give you no rights to self, that they are all about their own selves. And you see that and you think like, I can't be a part of this anymore because of how this person is. I think that is probably one of the most devastating things for any person that believes in Jesus Christ runs into, stumbles into, falls into, gets entrapped into, gets manipulated into and confused into. But the main thing is here is if you're quitting on God because of what a human has done, that's the part for me that just I want to say to you that that's not the way to go. That's not the route to go, because people 100% are always going to fail you. A human being is always going to fail you. Your brother, your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your children, your friends, your best of friends, they will always fail you in something, in some circumstance, in some way in this lifetime. It's just guaranteed. That's something for me that I've come to realize is a struggle with a lot of people in marriage today. They think that things are just going to be perfect, or you get married to make sure that it is going to get better. But in reality, that's when the times get really hard. And you bail because you realize that they did something that disappointed you, and you just run away from that. But I'm here to tell you, me, Mr. Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. is here to tell you that people are always going to fail you. And it's going to be a matter of what it is that you do in that failure to keep on going, knowing that that's just going to happen, guaranteed. I've been listening to a lot of people just talk, going through I don't know why my research has led me to not so much of atheism anymore, because for me, that's meaningless. I don't know how else to say it. That doesn't fit. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's more confusing to me than believing in God. The arguments that they have is more confusing to me to understand and to I guess respect is a word, but just understand that it's way more confusing for me. That requires me to have to believe in something way more than just believing in Jesus is real. Just believing in the fact that man walked this planet and he died, and it's a historical thing for us to really be able to research and understand that it just happened. It just is what it is, regardless if you want to believe that or not. There was a man on this land that did what this Bible is stating. So it's hard to just ignore that and just run away from that. But the main thing that I've been researching today and listening to probably too many hours of my life is listening to people that used to believe. And they were hardcore. They were deep in it. They weren't just a little bit. They were all in. And then something happened that a coworker, a family member, a priest, a minister, a pastor, or somebody did something to them that made them just walk away from it. That you in yourself felt the presence of what you would say is, things happen to me that I just don't know how to explain. That's what I'm going to continue to say, that a lot of people just have that experience in life when it comes down to understanding who God is. That something happens to you in your life that you just can't explain. You get something in you, not these feel goods, everything feels good, like you're doing some medication or you're doing some drugs, you're doing some alcohol, but something just comes to you and it overwhelms you in a way that you can't just ignore it. And then the only way to be able to put two and two together here is to realize that something, the best way of saying it is supernatural has happened. Something just absolutely just wonderful happened to you. And you go to sleep and you wake up and you're just looking at the world completely differently. And I keep on hearing that same story over and over and over and over. And then I hear that story from people that are all in, that running away because of what a human did. And I'm like, man, that is devastating. That is devastating. But that's the main thing that happens. Something happens. And you're all in because that something happened. Because something, I'm telling you, you literally are praying and asking, you go to sleep and you wake up and you're just like, this world is different all of a sudden. It's just completely different. It's a transformation. So you felt and you've had the grace of God touching you. And then you got into it further and further. But then you got close to, say, a teacher, the person that brought you in, the person that was speaking to you, that made you think like, you're the one that I want to follow. You're the one that got me to be able to do this. So I want to listen to you. They start showing you some tapes. They start showing you some DVDs. They start taking you here. They start trying to make you become a disciple. They're giving you all the information you needed so that you can go out and do the same thing to bring that next person in. They're doing it all. But then you finally realize that this person has what's that word? Alternative motivations. That they appear that they are looking to get more people for God, but in reality they're getting more people for themselves. This is the main theme story that I constantly keep on hearing from people that are just like, they were all in it and then they're not in it anymore. Because they run into a situation with a girl or a guy, it doesn't matter the gender here, that they're all about self, to the point that they didn't really get you to God for God. They got you to God for themselves, to gain a following, to gain people, to gain pupils, I guess, away, and gain just this, what I would call it nowadays is some cult type stuff, where they're all about just gaining numbers and getting people to do what they tell them to do, how they tell them to do it, why they tell them to do it, and don't question it. Don't question it. And using the Bible in a way of mass manipulation to convince you that you got to do it because this Bible verse here says to do that. And then and you're very, very vulnerable because you don't know. You haven't actually read it all. And they actually even convince you, don't read it. They convince you, don't read the Bible because you're not intelligent enough, you're not smart enough, you're not worthy enough. That's a good word to use as well. You're nowhere near to be able to understand this Bible, that you need us or me. Mainly it's me, it's not even an us, because I understand the difference, like the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses, they do what they do. But there's some individual people on the main reason that people get away from the one true God that was being preached and taught to you. And they're sitting there telling you that you need that person to be able to do what you do. And they're very, I guess the word is charming. They're very, very just open and very easy to communicate with, and they're awesome. But they're actually having a whole different agenda behind what it is that they're doing. That they're priming you to let you know that, for one, you're stupid, and you're dumb, and you're not smart enough. And that's why you need them to be able to read the book, to be able to get the information. You're stupid, that they can hit you up with a Bible verse of this just one thing to reinforce what it is that they're feeling and they're thinking. They're treating you as if you are just so stupid that you won't look it up and try to figure it out for your own self at some point. And they're preying upon the fact that you won't look it up and you will just follow along and you'll just do exactly what it is they say to do. They're looking at you as if you are an unintelligent human being. And then one day something happens, because this is where I'm going to say the God is going to intervene in your life. And he's going to start exposing these things to you. That you're going to be going and you're going to be all, I want to get closer to Jesus. I want to get closer to him. And Jesus is like, okay, what's up? I'm here. And in reality, you know, Oriel, let's get down. And Jesus came to you and he got into you by somebody, but it doesn't mean that needs to be the person forever. That was a person to get you in. And at the same time, there's a lot of things that go on that no man is really going to understand about exactly what it is that God is doing. But he may have been using that person to bring you in, to let you see right up front what's real and what's not. And what to be anxious about, what not to. Because once you get through that, once you get past that, once you, say, expose that person, then you're able to get into a whole different light of life. That you're not going to be able to be behind this blockage. You're going to be able to truly fulfill what it is that you were trying to do. But what constantly just keeps on happening is you get into these so-called leaders and these so-called people that are just hardcore into Christ, or they appear to be that way. And they do something because they get exposed, because you start to see little things here and there as time goes on. You know, the first month, first 2 months, first 3 months, first 3 years even can look really good. And then things really start to slip after a little while. To me, it's God exposing what's going on. It's not much of that person. That person is still hidden to the rest of everybody. But to you, you're able to see some things that are going on. You're just like, whoa, man. Yesterday, you were like this. Today, you're now like this. Like, it literally is that same shift, an overnight shift. That you looked at them as if they were an awesome God, they were an awesome God follower, they were an awesome God praiser, they're an awesome God worshiper. To the next day, you look at them, you're just like, what's going on here? And that, for me, is to say another act of God. It's not an act of your own will, your own nothingness. It's something that God is awakening you up, bringing you discernment of being able to see what it is that you should be paying attention to and what it is that you should be running away from. So you get waking up and you start watching this and you start studying it. And the problems start happening when you start studying and start watching this person, because this person now somehow is able to recognize that. They can see that because your all in goes away a little bit. You're like so devotion is just kind of, it's slipping, because now when you were 100%, now that if you're even 99% and you used to be 100% yesterday, this person's going to notice like that person is a little off. What's going on? So now they start to apply some pressure to you. They're going to apply a little bit of pressure to get you to get back in, to be like, oh, everything is all good. But then that pressure that they give you, because now you're starting to get more discernment, you're starting to get more understanding, you're starting to see the world a little bit more, it starts to push you further away. So then they put more pressure on you. And then it starts to go to a more of a negative style of pressure, where now they're going to start calling you names. Now they're going to start mistreating you. Now they're going to start putting hands on you. Now they're going to start limiting you. Now they're going to start telling you where you can go, when you can do it, when you can eat, when you can sleep, when you can do anything in your life. And it starts to get very, very complicated. Complicated that it kind of worst case scenario is, not worst case, but one of the bad case scenarios outside of the mental manipulation that they're going to keep on pushing you in is the physical abuse that they're going to start putting you in. They're going to start physically putting hands on it. I don't know what it is, but it's just a story that I'm telling you, you can get on this YouTube and listen to hundreds of thousands of these stories. It's like a playbook. The exact same thing just keeps on happening over and over again, where you came in and everything was so great and so awesome, and then it got evil. That's the only way to really put it. It got evil. It got just ruthless, to the point that they're just looking at you and you calling you fat, ugly, stupid, and slow. They're looking at you and calling you worthless, pathetic, and meaningless. They're looking at you and slapping you because you misspoke, or you spoke too much, or you spoke too loud, or you didn't even speak. It's just like it's like a playbook that all I can say is the Satan, the enemy, has, that he uses over and over. And since it works, he keeps using the same one over and over, until someone just steps up and just says, you know what, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not going to go around with that. And that's why, for me, I think it's a fantastic thing today, in the 20s or the 23, to be able to have this YouTube stuff, to be able to listen to these stories that people have to say, that people are going through. Because after a while, you listen to like 5 or 6 and you're like, wow, this sounds like a common thing going on here. You listen to 20 or 30 and you're like, it's the same stuff. And then you just start to be able to just fast track and listen to more and more and more and more and more and more and more. You don't listen to the whole thing anymore because you're like, I don't have time. But you just start fast forwarding on what these people are saying. You're like, wow, they're all saying the same stuff here. So if everyone's saying the same stuff here, it can't be something that is an act of God that's trying to get you away from God. It's something that's trying to get you out of. That's going to be what I'm going to say is be the enemy that's out there, that's working, that's doing what it's doing. That the enemy is going to come to you with giving you the message of, say, the fake Jesus, the fake one, not the real one, the one that's leading you down to absolute destruction, the one that's leading you further and further away from him. But there's something that I'm going to say is even Jesus states in his Bible, is you call upon my name and I'm going to do something for you. So you call upon his name, even though it was for bad, evil intentions, calling on his name for what these people are trying to come into your life to do, to try to show you something that really isn't true. Then Jesus is going to have no choice, because you're going to be praying to him every day, all day. Please, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. All glory be to Jesus. And Jesus is going to hear that. He's like, hey, man, I got a person there. But you're praying to the wrong thing here. You're praying to the wrong, you're praying to nothingness. You're praying to evil. And so, but Jesus is going to have to do something to bring you out of that. And when he brings you out of that, it's going to be dangerous looking, because that person that's got you doesn't want to let you go. They're going to do everything in their power to hold you down. Everything. When you start going into the name calling, it's hard to get out of a situation when you're in that, especially if you're, say, married to that. And that's what happens to most people. Most people, these stories I hear, it's not even just like a outside pastor, but it's your spouse. It's the person that you're married, the person that you sleep with every night, the person that you brush your teeth next to, you go shopping with, you got 5 kids now already, and you're deep in here. And then all of a sudden, you're not so dedicated on worshiping, say, that person the way that you used to, because you're like, this isn't right. Something's not right here. And then that person, that's when they're going to lash out and go crazy, because all they wanted the whole time was to be God. They don't actually want to get you to God. They want you to get you to themselves, which is God. But a lot of people in these situations, they end up getting divorced. They end up losing their families. They end up losing just a lot, all of their friends, everything, because this person looks really good to everybody. I mean, so good. Everybody that sees this girl or guy, they're just like, that's a person of God right there. That's an amazing person right there. That's an awesome, they're the best of the best. So when you come and say, hey, you know, my husband or my wife is beating on me, everyone's going to say, no, they wouldn't do that. No, have you met them? Like, they wouldn't do that. That's not anything at all that they would be about. But so you have no one to even talk to about it. So all you do is you pray and pray and pray. And all that happens in the end is you end up in a very devastating situation because you have no choice but to leave. You have to leave. You can't stay in that because you're getting hurt. You're just getting destroyed. You're with somebody that's always on the hunt for the next person. They're never faithful to you. They're never honest with you. They're never trustworthy with you. They're just never there for you. They're only there for you when the image looks good for them. And then once we're done with that scenario, then they just push you off to the side again. So you're going to end up in a very sticky situation, and you're going to end up feeling very alone. You're going to end up feeling just beyond worthless. You're going to see like, there's no meaning in life. Like, God can't be real because why did he put me in this? Why did he do this to me? This is what God's people are like. I don't want to be around any of this anymore. And that's what starts to happen. And then you start to want to reject and want to just quit and want to just give up on God because you think that the people should be representing better. The people of this. No, I'm telling you, people are going to fail you. Especially the people that come in that just look so good, so amazing, so pretty, and they always got the right words and everything is good. I'm telling you, that person's going to fail you. And depending on who that person is, you would rather that person fail you sooner than later so you can find out what their true intentions are. To realize, are they just recognizing that they're messed up, they're flawed, and they're trying to get you to God, or are they trying to get you to themselves? So you'd rather see those slip-ups right away as opposed to being 8 years later where you're just stuck in it because you just followed along with everything that person was saying. You just followed them with no hesitation. You didn't even question. You didn't have anything. You just said, "Oh, that person believes in God. That person is trying to teach me to get closer to God. I'm going to marry that person. We're going to have kids, and everything's going to be perfect for the rest of my life because that's a God's person right there." And that's setting yourself up for failure because that person is going to fail you. And then when they do, that's when the real trials are really going to start happening in your life. And then that's when, for the most part, the most people, that's when they decide, you know what, I don't want God at all. And you just step away and you walk away and you say, that's not going to work for me. I don't need that. I don't want anything to do with that. Because this person here, I lost my kids, I lost my relationship, I lost all my friends, I lost my work, I lost everything. Now, God can't be real because I lost all this. But yet in the beginning, something happened to you that was of supernatural experience that you're never going to forget that. I just guarantee you that. So I do know that you have something in you where you're like, yeah, there's something there. But we forget about that because we think about everything that's happened on the reasons and whys of where we ended up and why we're here, right now. That I forgot about what happened 12 years ago, 24 years ago, 34 years ago, 55 years ago. I forgot that because of all that was going on. It distracted me. But something real did happen. And that's something that just because a human being has failed you, do not run away from God. In reality, that's when you need to push closer and closer to him to allow him to be able to help you and guide you, be able to move you through. You don't know the reasons. None of us know the reasons why we're here doing what we're doing. Not everything out here is just going to be all fun and all amazing and just flawless and everything works out. There's going to be some struggles that go on. There's going to be some times that things just don't line up the way that you want it to line up. There's going to be some scenarios that are just going to fail and just fumble. There's going to be stuff that you thought you were even going to start that just didn't even follow through before you even got to start it. It's just like you had this job that was about to go right there and they were giving you this pay a year and you're just like, this is fantastic. And you lined everything up because it wasn't where you were. It's some other state. You're in Florida and you got a job in Arkansas. And this job is just, it is legit. It is just like, wow, it's not even like you weren't working. It's what you already do, just in a way better atmosphere, experience, and triple the pay. I'm talking, this is some good stuff. And it's a real business. Everything's set up. Everything's legit with it. And you're there, and then you do it all. You get an apartment. You give 2 weeks notice at your other place. You're telling your friends and your family, hey, I'm going over here. I'm sorry. I'll come back and visit. I'll be able to do some visiting more. I'll be able to make a little bit more so I can travel a little bit more. I got better vacation time so I can come back and visit. Everything's going to be good. You already got the new apartment. You already put the deposit down on it. You've already transferred your plates for your car. You already got a new driver's license. You're there. You're in it. And then that job calls you up the day before you're about to go in and says, hey, actually, we don't need you. We don't know why things like that happen, but things like that happen. To me, that's just a putting more reliability on God, knowing that maybe that wasn't actually for you, But maybe that was just a test and a challenge for us to be able to figure out how to be able to get focused more and more of our time on God. Because it's something that a lot of us pray a lot about up front. At first, we don't do this all the time, but at first, it's like, hey, I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you. And you're all about, I need you. And I'll be here I'm here for you. I'll do anything for you. I got you. You got me. Please help me. Please guide me. Please, 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 please. We're hardcore in the beginning. But then we start to fade that away. And that may be a way to God to get us to get back into, I need you. I need you. Like, start talking to me again. Start recognizing me again. Start sharing me some more again. Start just experiencing more of what it is that I'm capable of being able to do for you more. As opposed to thinking that you're off doing your own stuff now. That you're asking, praying for some stuff, and then it happens, and then you're just like, yep, that, whatever. And you don't even like give thanks. You don't even like, you do nothing. You just like, I did that myself. So maybe some things happen to us like that just, it doesn't make sense, but it has to happen for your faith to grow even more. Because now when you're there, you're in this new place. Now, if you're there, and let's go back to the job thing, that you're in Arkansas, and you got your apartment, everything's switched, and you already got your 2 weeks, you're still technically working there, but you're already there, because you're like, I'm gone. You're already there, and then it falls through. What's the first thing that majority of people will do at that moment? Which is what I keep on hearing on all these, say, I guess you call it testimonies, but it's a testimony of getting away from Christ, as opposed to a testimony of coming to Christ. But it's always a testimony of, I came to Christ like this, but then the other side of it, how I'm leaving him now because this happened to me. And a lot of times when that happens, when that situation happens, when it falls through, that's when you just say, you know what, forget you, God. I want nothing to do with you. You stupid. You ain't done nothing for me. You meaningless. And what is God supposed to do at that moment? Is he supposed to smite you or break you down or destroy you? No. He's just going to distance himself. He's just going to, okay, and you go back doing what you was doing. And then you're going to struggle and struggle and struggle. As opposed to knowing that if you would have doubled down on your prayer, you would have doubled down and said, hey, God, you know what? This happened. I know you lined this up, man. You made this happen. This happened for who knows what, but it's just the way that it is. And now I'm here. Now what do you want me to do? That 2 days later, the job would have came over here instead, and something would have happened. Who knows? Something would have happened. But because I hear that side of it as well. A lot of people that happen to. Because there's two routes you could take. You could damn God and just get out of my life. I want nothing to do with you, and then just start struggling from there. Or you can praise God and say, you know what? I got to praise you for the bad stuff as well as the good stuff. It's a life lesson of the book of Job. Just because some bad stuff happens to you doesn't mean that you just curse him and push him away. You praise him for the good stuff, and you praise him for the bad stuff. And when you do that, some great things are going to come to you. It has no choice to. Because he's going to make sure that you're going to be good to go. Because that's what he promises. And if you don't get your promises, then clearly something's messed up here. Something's not lining up here. And then God is where you can say it is fake. It isn't real. But things have to line up for you. It has to. Because that's what he promises. That you're going to be able to eat. You're going to be able to have some food. He doesn't say you're going to have a fancy house or a fancy car or a fancy none of that, be a fancy vacation. But he says that you're going to be able to eat. You're going to be able to take care of yourself. That's what he says. That if you believe in me. Because that's all the disciples had. That's all these guys had. They left with nothing. They left with clothes on and they moved. And they were able to eat. They were able to do what they needed to do. They were able to take care of themselves the entire time with never having to even go get a job. They never worked. They never had anything like that. They never were there's no stories of them having to do some construction work on the side to be able to build up some money so they can go to the next town. No, they were always taken care of. Always taken care of. Jesus was always taken care of. He left with nothing. They were just on the move. This dude was able to make food from nothing. That's the stories like that are to share with us of how powerful Jesus actually truly is. That he's going to make something come from nothing. That's what he's able to do. That's the miracles of God. Something from nothing. Something from you're not even having to do any effort, nothing. That's the miracles of God. Getting us out of situations with doing nothing at all. And not even having the skills and the understanding of how to be able to do it. Getting us through that, getting us out of it. That's something from nothing. That's what God continuously keeps on doing. And that's why we should constantly keep on praying, regardless of some bad stuff looks like it's coming to us, to keep on praying, keep on saying, hey, thank you, God, thank you. Thank you for bringing this to me so that I could get this out of my life now, so that I can move forward with something else. Thank you. Thank you for fast tracking it. Thank you for bringing this extremely toxic, just ruthless person in my life now so that I can just get past it, so I can move on with my life, so that I don't have to die with this, that I could get out of this today and move on to something else. It's very, very unfortunate for some people that have been in situations like that for decades. Because now you think like, oh, my time is limited, now I can't this, now I can't that, but that's not the way to look at life. Look at life in an unlimited way, is that I got all the time in a type of way. that even though I got out of this, I'm going to find something. I'm going to be able to do something. I'm going to be able to have something that's going to be able to satisfy me after I get out of this, because God's going to help me out. He's going to guide me through it. He's going to bring to me what it is that I need. Don't think that it's just over for you. Oh, I'm too old. I can't this. I'm not going to that. No, that's not the case. That's not how we should be living on this planet. We should be living on this planet knowing for sure that God's going to help us and guide us through it, regardless of what's going down. And putting us in that sticky situation is more likely probably something that God has even lined up and put for us. Like I said, we don't know exactly why we're here. And for me, I have a good understanding that it's like a sequence of challenges for us to better ourselves, to become a better human being, to humble us more, to calm us, to bring us more patience, to be able to give us a sense of joy and freedom. That's why we're here. And we're not going to get that if we don't go through some hard times. We're going to have some hard stuff come to us. We're going to have some very, very challenging things come to us. And there's some of us that are just more quick to want to get close to God, want to find God, that we latch on to the first person that we see. And then we have in our mind, our expectations are, this person is perfect, this person is awesome, this person is amazing, without realizing that person is going to fail you. That person is. And don't run into a situation of just, I have to stick with this because this person has failed me. In reality, we live in the world of unlimitedness. There was one God that walked this land, Jesus, but he had many disciples. So if the one disciple in reality wasn't being able to help you the way you needed to help, there's another disciple right there next to him, and another one right there, there's many. Now I get it if there's like 2 or 3, but no, there was 12 of them. And then they branched out to move into 70 something. There's a lot of people to be able to go to. So if that person is doing something and you're just like, I don't know, because that was it. I think it was I forget the guy's name, but one of the disciples, they're challenging him because they're saying, dude, you're speaking something different than what we're supposed to be speaking. You're doing different stuff here. So they had to come in and challenge the guy, and to get him to get back on track with what it is he's supposed to be doing. And that's what everyone's supposed to be doing, challenging each of these teachers out there. Hey, buddy, you're not on that right. You're not on that right. And help them. And that teacher be able to, or I shouldn't say teacher because it's not the right word, but that preacher or priest is able to look at, okay, I see what you're saying, and I was wrong, to fix himself. Not be stiff-necked himself, say, oh no, I'm right, you're wrong, you're not right. You got 10 people coming at you saying, hey, that's not the right information. Maybe you should listen to that 10, because you, the one, can't be that one that's right when the 10 are coming at you saying something completely different to you. You're deviating from what's going on here. And that constantly keeps on happening today, that people are running away from church. People are running away from God. People are running away from having Jesus consume their life because of what a human being has done. And human beings are going to fail you. Human beings are going to stumble. Human beings are going to do or say or be about something that is just going to irritate all hell can be out of you. They are. It's guaranteed. But that doesn't mean that you quit on God, because God's not the one that's done that. It's that person that did that. Hey, Johnny. Get down, man. It's that person that's done that, not what God is all about. God is stated in His Word, and His Word is there, and His Word is just what it is. It's humans that want to start to change it up and do what they want to do with it. And they want to talk to you and treat you as if you are nothing and stupid. That's one thing right up front that I will say that I know is a devastating thing for someone to be preaching and teaching out there. That you are not smart enough to read that Bible. You won't get it. You stupid. You can't. You need me. You need me. I can interpret it for you. I can give you the information. I can guide you through it. I can show you what matters and what you don't need to pay attention to. Especially if someone says that term right there. What you should pay attention to and what doesn't matter. It all matters. Everything matters in that entire book. Regardless if it's just hard teachings in there. Some of it's some hard stuff to hear. Hard stuff to just accept and deal with. But it's there for a reason. Everything is in there for a reason, for us to figure out a whole true thing that's going on here. And a lot of it is not even a sense of what you should do and what you shouldn't do, but just giving us life lessons of like the people and how people are, to pay attention to some things so that we can figure out exactly how people are. And because people get hit hard, the atheists hit hard on a lot of Bible verses. See, God allows this, God allows that, God allows this. No, He doesn't want that, but the people were doing it. He doesn't. He had to adapt in a way, not making God seem like He's simple-minded and nothing. But since he allowed to continue on with what happened in the beginning, things changed with how humans started acting compared to what God wants. God wants all of His commandments to be followed, all the laws that He stated to be followed. He wants it all perfectly. mainly his commandments to be followed. He wrote his commandments down for us. And then we got the commandments, and then we were living. And then we got some new laws because of how we were acting and what we were doing, so that we can make sure that we can keep order, keep balance here. Not because God was wanting all of that. No, he added it because we were having problems. We were having issues. And since we're having problems, and since we're not perfect, and since we're having issues, God wrote us a whole lot of laws. There's like 600 or something of them in there for you can go by and be able to look through. But those all aren't God's original design. God's original design was the 10 Commandments. And in reality, God's original design was what Jesus said is the main commandment to pay attention to. Love yourself and love your neighbor. That's it. That's the main command right there. And it's the main one that Jesus states, that God states himself. That's it. That's the main one he's looking for. And because when you love yourself, you love God. And when you love God and you love yourself, you're going to treat the person next to you with the most upright, most respect. You're not going to be disobedient. You're not going to be ruthless to them. You're not going to mislead them. You're not going to mistreat them. You're going to do everything you can to make sure that you're guiding them in the right direction with the right intentions behind you, and not trying to be a manipulative person, not trying to be a destructive person. You're going to guide them into the right ways. And that's what God is stating to us. That's his main command right there. He says that. The main command. What's the main one? And then he says it. Love yourself and love God. I think it's God and then yourself and then others. And making sure that we're doing that. Make sure but there's a whole lot of extra that came because us as humans are messed up. Us as humans are not perfect. Us as humans are destructive in reality. Our nature is just destruction. When I watch some dogs do what they do, that's a dog's nature as well. They're destructive. We have the same destructive type things about us. We like to break stuff. We like to, I mean, it's just proven. Like, what are some of the biggest things that sell and go crazy? Us human beings breaking stuff. I mean, we even had this. This was even in my private school that I went to. We had these bonfires. They just have a car out there to just take a baseball bat to it and hit it. It's something about that feels good. Feels good to just take something and just break it. Feels good to just destroy something. Not everybody, but most everybody has that in them. They just like to it's like a sense of relief. Like think about even long-range golf places. Those things are super popular. You're not out there to like hit the ball to try and like get it in the hole or do it. No, you're out there hitting that ball to get it to go as absolute far as possible. That's destruction. You're just trying to beat that thing so hard, just I got it out of here. Look, I got it out of here. Same with those batting ranges. You're in there trying to hit that ball as hard. You're not worried about trying to make sure that you hit it in the right spot, give it the right thing, hit it in the right, get it between the infield and outfielders. No, you're just trying to smash that ball as hard as possible. And every other one of these games, you go to any carnival, majority of every single one of those games at all those carnivals are all about just destruction. Break stuff. Hit it as hard as you can. Shoot it as fast as you can. Kill it as much as you can. That's just all that we are. That's what we do. And we're that way. You know, a lot of these things out here just really show us our true nature. With things that we have fun, we say we have fun with. Things that we do for fun. We do for fun. We go out, we go hunting. We go out with high caliber weapons and we just stand, and some people just hunt on their patio and they just shoot anything that's moving. That's fun. Some people, they just get excited. I hear the people when they're shooting these pigs and doing this stuff, they are crazy excited. And that's destruction to just go kill an animal out there just because. And that's what we are. And God added some things to us because that's what we do. That's not what he wanted from us originally. So that's why when people have all these, oh, see, he allowed this and he did this and he did this, it's like, that's not what he was looking for. That's not what he wanted. But he has to make sure that we are able to take care of what we need to take care of. Should we out here have laws on don't rape somebody, don't murder somebody, no, we shouldn't even have laws. We shouldn't even have a prison system today if we were all just doing what we should be doing. That wouldn't be needed. Everybody would just put on cruise control. If the speed limit is 55, you'd be doing 55. You wouldn't be like, I'm going to go a little bit more. No, that's destruction. You want to go a little bit faster every single time, everywhere you go. I am rarely ever, I'm the one that's holding everybody up because I'm doing the speed limit. People are mad at me. That's destruction. Everything that we do, everywhere we go, is just how to push the limits, how to just drive it a little bit further. And that's just who we are. And once you understand that and know that, then you can realize don't really put all your everything in people thinking that they're going to be able to be that one that's going to be able to save you, because they're not. Only Jesus is going to be able to save you. A human being out here is not going to be able to save you. Human being is going to fail you. I'm telling you that. It just is what it is. We're not perfect. Now, if Jesus was here and he was able, yeah, you could follow that human being right there, because he would be able to lead you and guide you in the right direction. He's not going to fail you. He's going to be there for you. He's going to help you and guide you and teach you and give you everything that you need. But there's no one else out here that could do such a thing. And that's why Jesus came here. so that we can be able to have him to be able to rely upon for the remainder of the existence of this planet. Or I don't really know if the planet's going to disappear or not, but it says something's going to happen to the planet. Who knows if the planet disappear? But as long as this planet is still doing what it's doing, and all the animals are still living, and everything, all the trees are still here, then Jesus is here for us. He's here for us. He's able to do something for us. And when it all goes away, then yeah, you're at that point that either you believed before or you didn't, and that's just whatever happens at that moment. But for me, I want to be on the side of it of realizing that something for sure created this. Something did. Something made it. And I want to be on board with being closer to that, as opposed to being a negative towards it. Want to destroy everything that God has created. Wanting to just beat down it all. Wanting to abuse it all. No, I want to love it and cherish it and appreciate everything. Even though if it scares me a little bit sometimes, even though if it puts me in a sticky situation sometimes, I want to care for it. Even if I have too much and I got to get rid of some things, I'm still going to be thankful for being able to have the opportunity to be able to be around it. Not being a, woohoo, yeah, I'm going to kill you. No, that's just destruction. And that's what we do as human beings. And it's not, shouldn't be a reason on why you get away from understanding and praying and worshiping Jesus because of what some human being has done to you. That is just devastating. And that's why for me, I want to be a person to be able to say to somebody in that case of, don't quit, don't give up on God. Give up on that person. Yeah, that person, let's move away from that guy or that girl. Let's get out of them. Let's move from that. But don't remove yourself from God because of what that person has done to you. That's just absolutely devastating. And with that, I just want to say thank you for a very interesting week so far. To be able to just do what it is that I know I need to be doing. And saying what it is that I know I need to be saying. And going to the places I know I need to be going. And just pushing myself harder and harder. There's something that I've just noticed with working with some animals that I've noticed is super similar with us as humans, to push yourself, like physically each day, a little bit. Not a whole lot. Don't go for no 20-mile run every day, but do something to get your heart rate going, to just get it moving to the point that you got a little bit of a sweat coming, you got a huff and a puff, and it's best to go to the point of sometimes just you gotta stop, or you tired. Just do that every day, once a day. Get yourself tired. If that's going up the stairs once and then turning around and going up and back 2 or 3 times, just do that once a day. And something is going to start changing in your day. I'm telling you that, because there's something about being able to just push yourself a little bit. When you push yourself, you start to see the world a little bit differently. You start to be more appreciative of a lot of things that are around you. You start to change up a whole lot of different habits that go on in your day to day. When you just push yourself a little bit, you get a little tired. And get a little tired, and then when you're done and you sit down for a second, you just say, "Ooh, thank you. And then you can say, thank you, God, thank you. Because it's a fascinating thing that goes on with our bodies when we do that. We start to feel a lot of a differentness going on. You can actually feel your heart moving. You can feel it. You can it's there. It's just pounding. And just, it grounds you, I guess is something I can say. It lets you know that you are real, that you are here. This isn't fake. You're here. Your body's doing stuff. Your legs are getting tired, they're trembling, you're sore, you're a little hurting, you're a little achy, your heart is pounding, it's going pretty good. You're here, you're alive. And you're in part of one of the most greatest experiences that anything has ever known so far in this lifetime. Nobody has found anything greater than what it is that we are doing right now. People try to create video games that seem pretty cool and movies and stuff that seem pretty cool, but what we're actually doing on a day-to-day, every day, is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just beyond. It's just the best, the coolest of the coolest. The simple work that we all do every day is the coolest of the coolest. It's just awesome. And some of us do some extremely amazing work to be able to help out some people, to just be able to put yourself for hire for skills, so people to look at and just say, like, how are you able to do that? What the heck? That's crazy. And you're like, yeah, I'm doing what God is looking for me to do. And I'm trying to share the message of what God is trying to get me to share, so that I can get people closer to him so that they can be able to do that as well. It's something that is just an amazing thing. And I'm very, very thankful for being able to be able to go to places I go and do what it is that I do. Realizing that majority of still what I do on my day-to-day costs me absolutely no money at all. And that's the most beautiful thing of being able to please yourself, being able to have fun, be able to have some joy without having to worry about, I got to spend all this money to be able to have some fun today. No, that's setting you up for more and more failure in reality. It's setting you up to do what it is that is going to make you have more challenges in life, as opposed to making your life much easier, much better. So So something that I would just say is just because somebody has failed you, that doesn't mean to get away from God. In reality, that means to get closer to Him. That's something that I would want everyone to really think hard about. Thank you.